The Feast of Shavuot. What is it? How is it celebrated? And what does it mean for us today? The Feast of Shavuot, also known as the Feast of Pentecost, is the third appointed time on God's calendar. Leviticus chapter 23, verses 15 and 16 says, "You shall also count for yourselves from the day after the Sabbath, from the day when you brought in the sheaf of the wave offering. There shall be 7 complete Sabbaths. You shall count 50 days to the day after the Sabbath. Then you shall present a new grain offering to the Lord." Shavuot brings 2 Jewish religious observances together. First is the grain harvest. That happens in early summer. Second is the time that Israel commemorates the giving of the Torah on Mount Sinai. Shavuot is one of the 3 pilgrim feasts where God commanded all males to present themselves before the Lord in Jerusalem. The Jewish people set aside this feast to remember the giving of the law on Mount Sinai. It's a very special day, celebrating God's gift of His Word to their community. The Jewish people celebrate Shavuot by staying up all night, studying the Torah, drinking and feasting, and celebrating all that God has done. The prophetic fulfillment of the Feast of Shavuot is found in Acts 2. In Joel chapter 2, we read, "And it shall come to pass that afterwards I will pour out my Spirit on all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. And also on my manservants and my maidservants I will pour out my Spirit in those days." The law of Moses was given by God on Mount Sinai. The Spirit of God was given to the early believers gathered in the upper room in Acts chapter 2. In Acts chapter 2, verse 1 through 4, we read, "When the day of Pentecost had fully come, they were all with one accord in one place, and suddenly there came a sound from heaven, as of a mighty rushing wind, and it filled the whole house where they were sitting. And there appeared to them divided tongues as of fire, and one sat upon each of them. And they were all filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak with other tongues, as the Spirit gave them utterance." The God of Israel has given us His law on Mount Sinai thousands of years ago. He also promised in His word that He would pour out His Spirit on all flesh. In the Gospel of John, chapter 14, we read, "I will pray the Father, and He will give you another helper, that He may abide with you forever, the Spirit of truth. I will not leave you as orphans." God has been faithful to fulfill His word. He has poured out His Spirit and has not left us as orphans, but promises to be with us until the end of the age.